Hello and welcome to this channel which is called English Decoded. I'm Abdus Salam, and today in this lecture I'm going to talk about the correct use of some of the adjectives. So let's start the video. The first pair of adjectives that I've chosen and I'll be talking about the correct use of these adjectives is some and any. To express quantity or degree, some is used normally in affirmative sentences, any in negative or interrogative sentences. While talking about the correct use of some and any, we notice that some is used in affirmative sentences and any is used in either negative sentences or interrogative sentences. They are the same, but the difference is that the adjective some is used in affirmative, in positive sentences, while any is used in either negative sentences or interrogative sentences. For example, I will buy some mangoes. This sentence is an affirmative, a positive sentence, and we have used some instead of any. We have used some. I will buy some mangoes. Next sentence, I will not buy any mangoes. This is a negative sentence, and we have not used the adjective some. It's not like I will not buy some mangoes. No, any, the adjective any has been used because it is a negative sentence. The next example is an interrogative sentence. Have you bought any mangoes? Over here, any is used instead of some because this sentence is an interrogative sentence. So, some is used in affirmative, positive sentences, and any is used in either negative sentences or interrogative sentences. However, there is an exception. The adjective any can be used in a positive sentence if it comes with if. For example, if you need any money, I will help you. Over here, the sentence is a positive, affirmative sentence, but we have used any instead of some. It's not like if you need some money, I will help you. It's if you need any money, I will help you. Some is used in questions which are really offers, requests, or which expect the answer yes. Another correct way to use the adjective some is that if the sentence is an offer or a request or a question, a query in which the expected answer is yes. For example, will you have some ice cream? It's an offer. Will you have some ice cream? It's an offer. We have not used the adjective any. Rather, we have used the adjective some. Second example, could you lend me some money? It's a request. If it is an offer or a request, we use some instead of any. Similarly, did you buy some clothes? It's a question, it's an interrogative sentence, but the answer is expected to be yes. So here we also use some. Another pair, the correct use of which I'll be discussing now, is each and every. They sound similar, but there is a difference between the correct use of each and every. Each and every are similar in meaning, but every is a stronger word than each. It means each without exception. Each and every are similar in meaning, but each is a bit less broader and every is broader than each. Every means each and every. Each means each, but every means each and more. Each is used in speaking of two or more things. Every is used only in speaking of more than two things. Every is used only when we are talking about more than two things. On the contrary, each can be used when we are talking about two things and more. So this is the first difference. For example, there are two things, we can use each. And if there are more than two things, we can also use each. But every can only be used when there are more than two things. Every cannot be used for two things. Another difference between each and every is each directs attention to the individuals forming any group, every to the total group. For example, there is a group of students, and if I use each, I am directing the attention to each and every individual student. But every, the word every, the adjective every will be pointing to the group, not the individual students, but the whole group. Each is used only when the number in the group is limited and definite, every when the number is indefinite. Another difference between each and every is that each is used in those sentences when the number of the group is either known or it is definite. And every is used in those sentences in which the number of the group is indefinite, it is unknown, it is indefinite. For example, every seat was taken, 5 boys were seated on each bench, each one of these chairs is broken, leap year falls in every 4th year, he came to see us every 3 days, once in every period of 3 days. It rained every day during my holidays. I was away 10 days and it rained each day. In these examples, you will notice that each has been used in those instances where the group is either definite or we know the number of the group. For example, the first sentence is every seat was taken. We don't know the number of seats, so we say every seat was taken. 5 boys were seated on each bench. We know that there are 5 benches, and on every bench 5 boys were seated, so the adjective each is used. Leap year falls in every 4th year. Over here the number of years is indefinite. Therefore, the adjective every has been used. He came to see us every 3 days. Similarly, over here in this sentence also, the number of the years or the period, time period is unknown. It is indefinite. So every has been used. It rained every day during my holidays. We don't know how many days the holidays were. So the adjective every has been used. I was away 10 days and it rained each day. Over here in this sentence, each has been used because we know the number of days is 10. It is a definite known number. Another example of correct use of adjectives is little, a little, the little. Little. First we discuss little. Not much, hardly any. Thus the adjective little has a negative meaning. Little means very less. And the meaning, the connotation of little is negative. For example, there is little hope of his recovery. Little has been used as an adjective because it is a negative. This sentence has negative connotation. There is no hope. There is little hope. They are almost the same. He showed little concern for his nephew. Similarly, it is almost like we say he showed no concern for his nephew. The sentence, the connotation, the sense of this sentence is negative. So when the sense, the connotation of the sentence is negative, we use the adjective little. Next, a little. Some, though not much, a little has a positive meaning. A little also means less, but the sentence in which a little is used has a positive connotation, positive feeling, positive sense. For example, there is a little hope of his recovery. When there is hope, we say there is a little hope of his recovery. In the previous example, we said there is little hope of his recovery. it has negative connotation. When we say there is a little hope of his recovery, it has positive connotations. A little tact would have saved the situation. Similarly, a little tact, if there had been a little tact, some tact, the situation could have been saved. There would have been hope. With a little tact. Next, the little. Not much, but all there is. The little means that it is less, but it is all we have. There is no hope for more. The little information he had was not quite reliable. The little information means he had little information, but it was all he had. He could not have had more information. It was all he had. The little knowledge of carpentry that he possessed stood him in good stead. He had some knowledge of carpentry, but it was all he had. There was nothing more. So we use the little. Few, a few, the few. Well, few, a few, the few can be understood on the analogy of little, a little, and the little. Few, not many, hardly. Few has a negative meaning. Just like little, few also has a negative connotation, negative meaning. For example, few persons can keep a secret. It's very hard for people to keep a secret, and those who can keep a secret are very few in number. Few people, very little number of people can keep a secret. Few people are so hopeless as drunkards. Drunkards are so hopeless that there is anyone else that is as hopeless as a drunkard. And those people are very little in number, they are very few. So few people are so hopeless as drunkards. Few towns in India have public libraries. In India, there are very few libraries. And the towns that have those libraries are very little in number. So few towns in India have libraries. It's a negative sentence. Its connotations are very negative. A few, just like a little, a few is used in positive sentence. A few has a positive meaning and is opposed to none. A few means that there are some. It is opposed to being nothing. If I say there are no schools in this area, it's a negative sentence. But if I say there are a few schools in this sentence, it means that all hope is not lost. There are a few schools in this town. For example, a few words spoken in earnest will convince him. You have to convince somebody, and somebody tells you that if you use a few words in earnest, that will do the job. So there is hope in this sentence. A few is giving positive connotations. The few, just like the little. The few means that not many, but all there are. For example, the few remarks that he made were very suggestive. It means that he didn't make many remarks. He made very few remarks. But the remarks that he made were very suggestive. All of them were very suggestive. The few friends he has are all very poor. He has no friends. He has very little number of friends, but the friends that he has, the few friends that he has, are very poor. The few clothes they had were all tattered and torn. They didn't have many clothes, but the limited amount of clothes they had, they were all tattered and torn. The few clothes they had were very tattered and torn. That's all for today.